What? Let's get into it. I'm stalling. Let's go for it. What's out there?
From Entertainment Weekly, Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem are in negotiations to play Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz in a film about the beloved TV and real life couple set up at Amazon Studios, being the Ricardos from director Aaron Sorkin. The film is said to take place during 1 week of production on the iconic sitcom I Love Lucy, beginning with the Monday table read and following Desi and Lucy through their Friday audience filming. Being the Ricardos delves into a point of crisis in their lives that challenges both their careers and their marriage. Kate Blanchett was discussed to play the leading role of Lucille Ball, according to reports, but has now been replaced by Kidman. Fellow Aussie actress Blanchett was in talks to take on the role as early as 2017 when it was first bought by Amazon.
So, what are your thoughts? I think we have some. If I can get us back on screen, I think we have some feelings about this one. We were kind of talking about it, and
I
our friendship was almost in jeopardy on this one right now.
I don't I know it's like in negotiations, so nothing's like hard finalized,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I don't love it. I mean, I'm a pretty firm believer in like give people a shot, but
Mhm.
I feel like we've seen what Nicole Kidman can do, and she is an incredibly talented actress. Like, I'm not trying, this is not a Nicole Kidman hate stance. Javier Bardem as well. I think they're both immensely talented.
Mhm.
I don't see either of them as those people, and
Mm.
especially when you're talking Lucille Ball, such an iconic comedian, to get someone who is funny but not a comedian, if that makes sense. Like, I think she can be a funny actress. I don't think she's a comedian. And to bring someone in who I'm just not sure can hit those notes, I'm skeptical.
So, and we were joking. I threw it in as a just like a side comment, and I didn't know that this was like something you were also in agreement with because was it Debra Messing? Because she was the
Mm-hmm.
one that was brought up, and you're like Team Debra Messing on this one, right?
I
More
She
than
wouldn't have
these
been
two.
my first pick, but I've seen some of the footage of her. You mentioned when we were talking about it, and I looked it up. She's done. They did like an I Love Lucy thing on Will and Grace, and she's come out and talked about how you know Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's kid was
Right.
like, you look amazing, you look just like her. Like, she nailed the comedy. She has a comedy, like, she is someone I would consider a comedian and someone
Mm-hmm.
who, again, maybe not my first pick just off the top of my head, but someone I could certainly see in that role over Nicole Kidman. And
Here's
like I said, Javier Bardem too just seems like a
it.
weird,
See,
like, yeah, he's a
that
good
seems
actor.
weird. I agree with that one.
Maybe even weirder.
But here's where I support it for those two
Okay.
because that tells me a lot about the script and the tone of the movie. Like if it was just a Saturday Night Live sketch stretched out to 2 hours, then yeah, Deborah Messing is probably the perfect one, the person who looks more like Lucille Ball and could do the faces and the comedic stuff more better than Nicole Kidman and probably Clay Blanchett. 100% agreed. But since we're talking about the synopsis from what I think I read about it was about a this week that was this whole what's this a story about a week in time that was
Right.
from the
Yeah.
table
So
read
it's supposed to be
to
like
the
the
show.
table read through to the Friday film. But like,
But it was a situation that almost cost them their marriage. This is what I read in the synopsis. Like this is not just about the show and how and the comedy. This is something that seriously happened that almost destroyed the show and almost destroyed their marriage. And this
here's I guess here's where I'm living. Here's how I feel about this. I would personally, and maybe they'll blow me away. Maybe they'll get cast officially and this movie will come out and I'll be like, I was wrong. They're phenomenal. Or like there's something in this movie that, they were the right picks that I didn't know. My biggest thing is I would rather, especially with such iconic comedy figures, have comedians cast who then impress me with their dramatic chops than dramatic actors trying to stretch for the comedy, unless they're just not doing comedy for it, in which case I'm like, why don't you just make this about like why base it on these real people?
Yeah.
Who are so iconically hysterically funny, like one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Right. I felt that that's what you would think, where you're going with this, and I was like, if this is more based on comedy than anything else, then yeah, I 100%
Which I don't think it is, but I feel like you need people who can do both. So why not cast? Because I feel like comedians being dramatic tends to work better. Like more comedians, it's like, oh, they're actually a really solid dramatic actor. That works better than casting people where it's like they're charming, they can be amusing, but they're not comedians trying to stretch for that much. And I'm not saying it has to be Debra Messing. I'm just saying there's a lot of very, very talented comedians out there.
I disagree. I love this conversation. I'm on the other side of the fence on this one. I disagree on that one. Because what's his name from the Hangover? What's his name? The very
Which one?
The very attractive one. That's Rocket Raccoon now.
Bradley Cooper.
I never looked at him as a funny guy until he did those Hangover movies. I mean,
he's not that funny in the Hangover.
He's not that funny.
He's a straight man.
But he can do funny. So if the movie to me.
But I wouldn't cast him as I wouldn't cast him in the in the Robin Williams biopic.
But see that's it. It depends. If it's more about if the script. See, that's the thing. We're building it up. We don't even know what the script is really about. But if it's like we're retrofitting it to if it's about this, then yes, that person would Messing would probably be the best person.
To cast someone who I don't feel like is especially funny to be, like I said, one of the most iconic and influential comedians of all time. Even if it's not like make it or do the Vitamin Vegemin scene in the movie or whatever, it's still just like, well, then why are we doing this?
Because she would.
I don't want an edgy I Love Lucy backstory movie. I guess is also funny.
I remember before she died, like after the show was done, and if I remember correctly, she rarely did appearances as Lucille. Like she would. It was very rare and far in between whenever she would put the wig on and go out there and do her thing. Her life wasn't all lights and smiles, and I'm
sure it wasn't, and I don't mind delving into that, but I also cast someone funny. Just cast someone funny.
Just damn it, just do it, because when we're on the funny scenes, I want it to be fun. I'm the opposite. If the movie is,
I can't picture Nicole Kidman pulling it off. And like I said, I say that with the full. I guess part of it is just I don't want to see the Lucille Ball biopic where Nicole Kidman is the appropriate casting choice.
Wasn't
Nicole, to me that just feels like, why?
Wasn't she one of the three that was in the Fox News movie? The three?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Nicole can pull it
That's not a funny movie.
It's not a funny movie, but I don't know why. I don't think, you know what? But before I forget, Joe Ryan, I see him in the chat room. He is saying something that I said yesterday in my head. We are it's like one brain right here. Kristen Wiig would make a good Lucy. I was thinking
that's all I'm saying. Just yes.
Probably because of what we just saw in Wonder Woman 84. She could pull off the drama too. And she's a good actress.
Most really good comedians are good actors. But that requires an understanding of humanity, I think, and an intelligence and a talent that more often than not does translate phenomenally to drama.
Christian has done dramatic roles. Hardship, Love Ship was an amazing dramatic movie.
She's a good dramatic actress.
The answer is if this script is is mostly about a very personal and dramatic moment in their marriage and the harsh. Get a dramatic actor, because I don't want.
No, get a comedian who can do drama. I will die on that hill.
Okay. I would rather, because if the movie is more about that struggle versus the scene that they pull off in that show and that, then I would rather the drama be better than the comedy. Because I understand you want to honor Lucille Ball. But if the story...
Nicole Kidman just does not remind me of Lucille Ball at all.
Kate Blanchett, when Kate Blanchett I was reminded when I was putting the show together, this was brought up. The first time I heard about this was brought up with Cate Blanchett back in 2015 on Colliders when they were still doing AMC Movie Talk. Rest in peace, John Schnepp was still alive when they first brought this up as a movie that was in development. And all these years later, Cate Blanchett can't do it anymore, or probably not going to do it anymore. Now they're moving on to possibly Nicole Kidman, maybe. But when I saw Cate Blanchett, at first I was like, I don't see Cate Blanchett either. But then when I looked at her again, I saw them side by side. I feel like Cate Blanchett looks more like Lucille Ball than Nicole Kidman.
I think she would have been a better choice. I think Cate Blanchett would have been better. I still think they're both slightly weird.
I think Cate Blanchett would have been better, and I think you go with your powerhouse actor, Cate Blanchett, over comedian. Even though she's playing a comedian, I will die on that hill. I like the way you're judging me and shaking your head.
I just disagree. I just very firmly disagree. But I think we both made our points.
You got it. All right.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or we got your mail.